Hey guys, Laura with Evolution Pilates Studio here to bring you a reformer workout for a tight low back. Today we're going to be doing exercises on the reformer to provide some relief for low back pain and stiffness. If you do have, say, a herniated disc or a pinched nerve or something else that's really bothering you, I do advise you to go see a medical professional, get diagnosed, get proper treatment before you do this series. However, if you just woke up with a stiff back, if you've been doing a lot of gardening, if you just came back from vacation like me and slept on a weird bed and went on a long plane ride, then this workout is definitely for you. I hope that throughout this workout you do find some release and space in the low back, that it does relieve some tightness in the hips as well as the front of the hip flexors. When you're ready, grab your reformer. We will also be using a box at the end of the session, so grab that if you have it, and we will get started. Okay, I have my reformer set up with my headrest in an up position. My foot bar is also up, and I'm on 3 heavy springs. For my balanced body reformer, that is 2 reds and 1 green. Adjust accordingly. Let's come down onto our back to start with footwork. So we're going to lay all the way down on our back. Align your body with the middle of your carriage, and we'll start with our heels sit bone distance on the foot bar. I just want you to rest your arms down by your sides and settle into the carriage for a moment. Let your collarbones open. You can gently close your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. Take a big breath. Inhale. Expand the back of the rib cage into the carriage underneath you. Exhale, soften the front of the rib cage down. Inhale, expand the back of the rib cage into the carriage. Exhale, soften the front of the rib cage down. We'll continue in this pattern of breath for just a few more rounds. Feeling your spine lengthen along the mat. Feeling your sacrum get nice and heavy on the carriage. Let's do 2 more rounds of breath. And 1 more round. On your next inhale, let's press the carriage all the way out, extending the legs, and then exhale and bring the carriage back in. Think of this movement stemming from the hip joint. So as I extend the carriage, my hip joint opens, and as I pull the carriage in, my hip joint closes. I'm trying not to initiate the movement from my feet, but instead of higher up at the hip. Nice and smooth fluid motion here. For 4. And 3. Last 2. And last time. From here I'm going to come in, staying on my heels. I'm just going to separate my heels a little bit and bring my inner thighs together. So I'm coming into internal rotation. I'm going to inhale and press out, and then exhale and pull in. Every time I pull in, I'm trying to think about widening my sacrum along that carriage. Let's do 4 more here. And 2. And last time. Coming all the way in. From here, I'm going to take my heels very wide on the foot bar to the outside edges, externally rotate at my hips, and press the carriage out. Now pause here with legs extended. Find internal rotation from the hip joint and pull yourself back home in internal rotation. External rotation at the bottom of the movement, press out. Internal rotation at the top of the movement, pull in. Once you have that motion down, smooth your motion out. Now, if you have to adjust your feet at any time, feel free to adjust those feet. Again, we are concentrating on the movement coming from the hips and being careful not to pronate the feet. That is a big tendency to start changing the shape of the feet instead of adjusting the rotation of the hip from the actual hip joint. Let's do 3 more here. And last one, coming in an internal rotation. Let's reverse direction. So again, adjust the heels if necessary. Press the carriage out in internal rotation. At the top of the movement, find external rotation and pull in. Internally rotate, press out. Externally rotate, pull in. We'll continue here for a few more rounds. Every time you find that internal rotation, again, seeing if you can widen the space at the low back. Let's do 4 more here. And 3. And last time. Beautiful job. Relax those feet. Let's bring our arches onto the foot bar, about sit bone distance apart. We'll also lower our headrest down for bridging. So arms down by the sides here. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, tuck the tailbone under, feeling your low back pressing into the mat. And then when you're ready, peel the spine up, coming to the base of the shoulder blades here, squeezing the underside of the glutes, and then rolling the spine back down. We'll do a few more bridges like this. I like to think as I bridge that I'm trying to keep my tailbone above my belly button the whole entire time on the way up and the whole entire time on the way down until I get to the very last point where I then release my tailbone back to the mat. So tailbone under, tailbone above belly button, the whole way to the top of the movement. Inhaling at the top, exhaling, letting the back of the heart soften down to the carriage, coming down one vertebra at a time, keeping that tailbone lifted until the very last moment. Let's do 2 more just like that. Rolling it up, finding space in the low spine, and rolling it down. And 1 more time, rolling it up. And rolling it down. From here, I'm going to lift my hips back up to the top of my movement. Good, and we're going to work on an exercise called typewriter. So a typewriter moves side to side. You could also think about this as skateboard hips. So if I imagine that I have a skateboard underneath my hips, I'm going to slide my hips laterally to the right, coming through center, laterally to the left, coming through center. We'll do 2 more each direction, trying to keep the hips equidistant from the carriage the whole time. Good, once you're done with those, come back center, come down just an inch, and we'll repeat that movement. Sliding to the right, and sliding to the left. Sliding to the right, and sliding to the left. Let's do 2 more each way. Good, we've got 2 more rounds to go, so we'll go down 1 more level, 1 inch down, and then slide to the right, and slide to the left. 1 more round each way. Come back center, hover your hips directly over the carriage so that you can slightly feel the carriage underneath you. And 1 more time, let's slide to the right, and slide to the left. Now you should really be able to see if you're truly just laterally sliding or if you're letting one hip lift or lower. Good, 1 more to each side. Come back center and lower the hips all the way down. Just relax down into the carriage. Take a breath, inhale here, and exhale. Let's do 1 more bridge, tucking the tailbone under, peeling the spine off of the mat, rippling all the way up to the top of the movement, taking a breath, inhale, and then exhaling, rolling the spine back down. Seeing if after those typewriters, you have any more ease in your bridge. Beautiful. Take a breath, inhale here, and relax. When you are ready, let's grab onto those silver pegs, or those pegs right behind your shoulder blocks. Bring the knees into a tabletop position. Glue your inner thighs together. Take a breath, inhale here as the knees travel over to the right hand side. The left hip will lift up off of the carriage. Exhale, bring the knees back center. Inhale the knees over to the other side. The right hip will lift. Exhale, the knees come back center. Now I want you to soften the back of your rib cage to the mat as you bring the knees back in. Try not to overarch the back as the knees travel to the side. Let's do 2 more each way. You're trying to keep those shoulders nice and evenly weighted on the mat. Coming back center. Let's place our feet back down in our bridging position, so arches on, sit bone distance apart. We're going to lift our hips back up into a bridge one more time, and from here I'm going to take my right hip and tilt it slightly down to the mat. From there I'm going to slowly roll down the right side of my spine, articulating down on that side, keeping my left hip as lifted as I can while I'm doing this. Finding a release down at the base and then rolling that hip all the way back up. Let's do 2 more rounds on that side. So the right hip drops slightly and we roll down the right side of the spine, keeping that left glute on fire as we lower down and we lift back up. Let's do 1 more round. Tilt the hip, roll it down, and roll it back up. Going to the other side, tilt the right hip down, the left hip down, lower that side of the spine down, keeping the right hip elevated, and lift it right back up. 2 more rounds. And last time. Beautiful job. Lower the hips back down. Let's come up carefully and just change our springs out. So here I'm going to take off 2 heavy springs and place on a medium spring. So I'm left with 1 medium and 1 heavy spring. You can lift your headrest up if it feels more comfortable for you for feet and straps. So we'll lower back down onto our back, carefully straightening those legs out, placing 1 foot at a time into your loops. Good. We'll start with parallel feet, legs out at a 45-degree angle. When you're ready, inhale the legs up until you feel a nice stretch to the hamstrings. From here, exhale and lower the legs forward and down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Again, initiating that movement from the hips. The feet are just following the movement. Let's do 4 more here, keeping the spine nice and quiet. And 3. And 2. And last time. Good. From here, I'd like you to separate your feet sit bone distance apart, internally rotate at the hips so the big toes touch. We're in this weird pigeon-toed position and we're going to lower the legs forward and down and lift the legs back up till we feel a little bit of stretch down the IT band. Inhale down and exhale, lift. Let's do 4 more here. Last 2. And last time. Let's go right into leg circles. Lift those legs up. You're still in internal rotation. Separate the legs just the width of the carriage. Lower the legs forward and down. Bring the big toes back to touch and then lift the legs back up. Take your time with this. You can go faster or slower than me in your circles. Last 3, and 2, And last time. Let's reverse, going down, out to the width of the carriage, coming back up, and big toes to touch. Again, there's a tendency to like over-pronate your feet here. So I do want you to think about that internal rotation again, just coming straight from the hip joint. Last 3. And 2. And last time through. Beautiful. From here, separate your feet about shoulder distance apart, and we'll lower our legs forward to a diagonal line. From here, we're going to bend our knees into our chest, into a wide squat, and press the legs back out. Inhale in, exhale, press. My knees are basically directly below my straps, and I'm trying to keep my shins as parallel to the floor as I can here. Who knows if that's actually happening, right? Good, for 4 more. And 3. The last 2. And last time. Beautiful job. Bring those feet together, bend both knees. I'm going to take my right strap off of my foot and just place it back briefly. I'm going to stay on this spring load, but if you wanted to reduce to 1 heavy spring, you could also do that as well. Crossing my left ankle over my right thigh, I'm going to lower my leg down and then lift my leg up until I feel a decent stretch through my outer hip. I'll do that just a few more times, lowering my leg forward and down, and then lifting back up. I'm trying to flex the foot that's crossed over the thigh here to protect my knee joint, and keep the rest of my body relaxed. Good, let's do 3 more. And 2. And last one. Now I'm going to allow my leg to come up towards the ceiling and give a little pressure on my inner thigh so I can increase the stretch in my hip joint. Good, try to anchor both sides of the pelvis down to the mat, lengthening the tailbone down towards the springs. We'll stay here for just another few moments. See if you can release a little bit deeper into that stretch. Beautiful. When you're ready, bring that extended leg back forward. We're going to uncross our crossed leg and let that leg fall down into the well of the reformer, finding a nice deep stretch through the hamstring of our lifted leg. If you don't have access to the floor on your reformer, you could also have this foot either on the foot bar or hanging over the foot bar. So those are always good options as well. Good, let's bring that same leg out to the side, opening up the inner thigh a bit, finding a deep stretch into the groin. Good, from here coming back center. I'm just carefully going to bring the same extended leg slightly over the midline of the body and see if I can find a stretch down my IT band. Now I'm not going too far, and I'm also trying very hard to anchor my right hip down so that I can keep the side of my waist nice and long and really isolate into that IT band. When you're ready, come back center. We'll bend that knee just to protect the low back there, and then bring the other foot onto the foot bar and take off that strap. Good. So going to the other side. Take your other strap, place your foot inside it. Extend the leg nice and long. Cross your opposite leg over the thigh and flex the foot. From here, we'll just lift the legs up towards the ceiling and lower the leg back forward. Feeling a slight stretch through the outer hip when you bring the leg towards the ceiling. And let's just do 3 more here. Keeping the spine nice and quiet. Last one, bring the toe towards the ceiling. Maybe add a little bit of additional pressure into your inner thigh to open up that hip and just find a stretch. You can always stay here for longer and just pause the video or come back to this stretch later. Nice job. From here, bring that leg back forward, uncross your crossed leg. We can take it down into the well or onto the foot bar. And then when you're ready, let's just take that nice hamstring stretch here. Try to keep your breath nice and deep. Beautiful. Let's open that same leg out to the side. It helps for me to take one hand and support my leg just slightly. It feels a little less scary and lets me relax into the stretch just a little bit more. Beautiful. Carefully bring that leg back center and then let it cross the midline of the body just a little bit, lengthening that side of the waist. Anchoring the tailbone down. Come back center, bend the knee. Place the other foot onto the foot bar if it's not already, and let's take that strap all the way off. Beautiful. From here, carefully prop yourself back up. We're going to take off one spring if you haven't already, so we'll be left with one heavy spring, and we are going to grab our long box and place it on top of the carriage. Good. So long box is on. From here, we're going to come down onto our belly on the box using both hands for support. Align your body up at the center of your box. Bring your hands onto the foot bar about shoulder distance apart. Now I'm going to widen my feet so that my knees are about the width of my box here. Lengthening through my toes, lengthening my low back and lifting my belly button up. I'm just going to keep my spine low and extend the carriage and then pull the carriage back in. Nice and easy here. Finding as much length from the crown of the head through the toes as you possibly can. And keeping the low back nice and long. Good. From here, let's do 4 more. And 3. And last one, hold both arms long. Let's lift up into back extension, finding length through the back of the neck, and then lower back down. We'll just do 2 more lift and lowers like that. Last time through. Lower the body back down. From here, we'll move both hands over to the right corner of the reformer, or to the foot bar, and lift the body up on a little diagonal line, and lower back down. Now, if your hands are on the right side of the reformer, think about lifting up through the right leg as well, so that the hips have a better chance to stay even on the reformer. Let's do 3 more here. And last time. Beautiful. Lower the upper body down, center your hands, and then when you're ready, shift the hands over to the other side, and we'll continue on that side. So again, if your hands are on the left, you'll try to lift that left leg up just a touch from the glute to keep both hip points anchored equally on the box. Let's just do 2 more here. And last time. Very nice job. Separate your hands again. again, shoulder distance apart. And let's just do 2 more lifts. And 1 more time. Very nice. Bend the elbows to the sides to come all the way back in. Let's bring our hands onto the box, and very carefully, we're going to come up onto our hands and our knees here. So hands on the front edge of the box, knees underneath the hips. From here, I'm going to just shift my right knee a little behind my left, lifting my toes up. My knee is going to stay down on the box the whole entire time. From here, we're just going to look over the right shoulder, bringing the toe and the shoulder towards one another, and then look over the the left shoulder, bringing the toe and the shoulder closer to one another. So this exercise is called wag the dog, or wag the tail. So we are just shifting our tailbone side to side as our head shifts to that same side. This is a great exercise to do on the mat as well. A great exercise to do before bed to relax the low back. Let's do 2 more here. And last time. Very nice job. Settle that knee back down. Bring the other knee a little behind. Lift the toes, and we'll do the same thing on that side. So I look over my shoulder at my foot, and then I look over my other shoulder at my foot. And we'll just do a few more side to side. Let's do 1 more each way. Very nice job. From here, separate the knees nice and wide, toes come together. Carefully sit the hips back towards the heels, turn the palms up towards the ceiling on the foot bar, let the crown of your head come towards the box, and just relax here. You can shift the hips a little bit side to side, trying to find some more space for the spine and more space for the tailbone to reach towards the heels. When you're ready, find complete stillness here. Inhale the breath into the belly, feeling the belly expand into the thighs. And exhale, soften the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, expand the belly into the thighs. And exhale, let the tailbone reach towards the heels. Let's do 2 more breaths just like that. Relax in your fingers, relax in your jaw, relax in your shoulders, relax in your eyes. 1 more big breath. Beautiful. You can stay here as long as you like. Whenever you are ready to come up, carefully prop yourself up. Find a nice, gentle seated position on your box. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I hope that provided some relief for tight muscles in the low back. Again, as always, leave comments or questions down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you'd like to see next. I so appreciate you being here with me. I hope to see you again soon, and thank you again. Bye, guys.